Tottenham Supporters Trust want talks over the direction of the club. Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust has requested a meeting with the club's board to discuss the short- and long-term strategic vision for the club. Spurs have suffered successive Premier League defeats to London rivals Crystal Palace, Chelsea, and Arsenal. They appointed former Wolves boss Nuno Espirito Santo in June following a protracted search for a new manager after José Mourinho was sacked in April. But, despite topping the table, after beginning the new campaign with a trio of 1-0 wins, the Portuguese coach's position is already coming under intense scrutiny on the back of recent poor results, including Sunday's 3-1 North London derby loss at the Emirates Stadium. Over the past few weeks, we've been contacted by an increasing number of Trust members and the wider fan base who are extremely concerned about the current direction of THFC, read a statement from the fan group. We have asked for a meeting with the club's executive board to discuss both the short and long-term strategic vision for the football club. This potential meeting, therefore, is an opportunity for the decision-makers at THFC to explain their plans to supporters. This explanation should include plans for this season and beyond, an explanation of how success will be measured and how the club's DNA will be regained. After the dismissal of Mourinho, Ryan Mason took charge of Tottenham for the remainder of last season on a caretaker basis. Spurs were interested in Mauricio Pochettino returning to North London, but Paris Saint-Germain were unwilling to let him go. Former Chelsea boss Antonio Conte, ex-Roma manager Paulo Fonseca and former AC Milan and Napoli coach Gennaro Gattuso each looked set for the role before Nuno was eventually unveiled on June 30. But just months into his tenure, Espirito Santo now finds himself as third favourite among Premier League managers to be sacked. Only Newcastle's Steve Bruce and Norwich's Daniel Farke are seen as more likely to be sacked at this moment. Sky Bet have Nuno at 7/2 to be axed by ruthless Spurs chairman Daniel Levy, while William Hill have got odds of his sacking at 7-1, according to Oddschecker on Monday morning. His appointment coincided with prolonged speculation regarding the future of star player Harry Kane as a tumultuous period for the club continued. England captain Kane was heavily linked with a move to champions Manchester City, but remains at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The 28-year-old is yet to score a Premier League goal this term, and Spurs' dip in form is compounded by some damning statistics. They rank 20th in the Premier League for shots and chances created this term and have covered less distance than any other team. Tottenham are next in action against Slovenian side Mura in the UEFA Europa Conference League on Thursday night before returning to Premier League against Aston Villa on Sunday. It comes after Sky Sports pundit Jamie Carragher ripped into Spurs and Espirito Santo's tactics during the defeat by Arsenal on Sunday. Carragher was particularly scathing of the performances of the Spurs midfield three, Dele Alli, Tanguy Ndombele and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, at the Emirates. He said, 1 minute into the game, Dele Alli, Ndombele, and Højbjerg are the midfield players, and they are not in midfield positions. The only reason you'd stand there, away from midfield, is if your manager has told you to go there. They wanted to go direct, but who to? Even if you win the ball, you need someone behind you to pick up second balls, but Dele Alli was on the same line as Harry Kane. When you look at the space in midfield, I don't think I've ever seen anything like it in my life. Where would you want them? Surely not there. There's less space on the moon than what you see in that midfield for Tottenham. It's actually unbelievable. The manager must have told them where to go. This is before the first goal. It was always going to happen. Sportsmail also exclusively revealed on Tuesday that Sky Sports gave Espirito Santo the all-clear to abandon his post-match interview following the North London derby after he received X-rated abuse from supporters. Having arrived for his post-match interview, Nuno was forced to disappear back down the tunnel just as the interview was about to start. Head coaches are required to report for their post-match media duties within around 20 to 45 minutes of the final whistle, but Spurs and Nuno are unlikely to be reprimanded for not adhering to those conditions given the circumstances.